OBS doesn't want to stream. Come on, OBS. You can do it. There we go. So hopefully there's sound. Last time I couldn't get sound to work, but I think it's working now. Alright. I should be live now. Hello, everyone. I'm back. Streaming SpyParty again. If anybody's watching. Alright, well, I've got Kletos and Yerand in here. Great. Hey, Varanus, what's going on? Yeah, so just let me know how anything with sound that I can fix. Like, you should be able to hear game audio and my voice. So I was thinking I would start with some casual games and then maybe move on to some replay analysis. Does anybody want to play? Fight, fight, fight. Awesome, Steph. Welcome. Glad you made it. It was actually a pain getting everything set up. OBS didn't want to open, and I finally got it to open, and then 10 copies of it opened at once, and everything was running really slow and terrible. And then, yeah, nothing wanted to work, but I got it working finally. There's no audio in the menu, yeah. Okay, Yerand and I will play probably just a short handful. I guess we can talk on Discord if you'd like. But, yeah. So I'll pop on Discord and maybe I can get make it audible for everybody. So Yerand, if you want to join me, you may join me. Hello. Here, I'm going to try to make it so they can hear you. Say something.
Something.
All right, you guys.
Something.
There you go. You guys should be able to hear him. If you can't, let me know. I don't know if I'll be able to fix it, but it's working, or so it says. All right. So what I've been wanting to practice is New Art Ballroom. Would you mind doing a slightly handicapped set? Would that be okay?
Sure.
So I'll do any 4 of 7, and you do any 4 of 8 when you're spy.
All right.
So it's really slight. Oops, not 5 of 7 though. That would be a nightmare. Oh, I better make it push to talk. That way I'm not talking to you the whole time I'm playing.
Yeah, that's probably wise.
Like I'm going to statue right now and that sort of stuff. Let me figure this out really fast. Okay, I'm good.
All right.
All right, ready when you are.
Okay, starting.
Okay, so what I've been thinking lately is that I haven't been doing as well on this map as I've been wanting to do. And I need some more. I need to get some practice on it. The problem is that new art is hard. It's really hard, especially on this map. It's hard to see bugs. It's hard to catch the purloin, and new art animations are more subtle, which makes them more difficult to watch. So it's harder to see people talking. It's harder to see people sipping correctly. So I need practice on the harder version of the map, like any 4 of 8. But as Spy, I think I could do with some sharpening on any 4 of 7, since both formats are like SCL and stuff. So that's why I want to play the hardest version of both maps, if my opponents let me. So I'm thinking this game, I'm gonna play kind of slow. I'm probably going to grab a hardtail at some point. I don't think I'm going for all 4 softtails, but I want to see a really nice bug. And this one wouldn't be too bad, but the Emba's about to leave, so I don't think I'm gonna get it. And I'm gonna wait for this flirt. Ouch! Seduction target. All right, it's my turn to talk. Still a bad BB. Only 2 conversations with guests in them, so this is not really a great position for me to be in. I need to grab a flirt like now, but ST is at painting. By the time I get there, I won't be on time, so let's see if maybe I can stalk the Amba a little bit, find out where the Amba goes. That's not going to help, yeah. Alright. It's a bit early to get my highlight, but I need middle statue and flirt. Grab flirt there first. It's a bit of a hard tell, but it's really hard to notice to wait that long to pick it up. Usually you want to pick up and then flirt, but I didn't have the time. At least swap is turned off, so this statue visit is just for grabbing inspect. And he won't be too suspicious of a possible swap. Alright, this BB is actually really nice, even though it's fake. It's getting worse, though. Yeah, it sucks now. Alright, finish flirt. And I need a hard tell. I need a hard tell. I don't like this one. I want bug. The cover there was okay, but now I still need a BB. Oh shit, it's red. Oh shit. No! It's time to cough. Okay, he didn't see the cough. Can he shoot? It was before 10 seconds, so there's going to be no overtime. And no shot.
Did you really? No. Okay.
Yeah, that cough was really scary. Highlight for middle statue, right?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. So at the start of the game, he highlights Toby. Amba gets a low
It
light.
looked to me like Papa Danger could have stood in the convo with an SDA with a briefcase.
Where's that?
Oh, but he didn't green it. Yeah, he could not have greened it and coughed.
For
Wait,
what?
can you do that? Like at the end when BB happened, he was with briefcase. He was not quite in convo, but from my angle, it looked like he may have been.
Yeah, I mean,
And then there's a cough,
where
and
is
he
it? At the very
immediately
end?
starts moving.
During BB?
Yeah, at like 15 seconds. And he goes to Amba and standing behind Amba, and I can't see if he bugs.
Yeah, Papa Danger was walking during the banana bread, so
Yeah,
yeah, he
like
couldn't
he
have done
just
it.
started.
Yeah, if you weren't looking directly at him, it could be hard to see.
I mean, it's an insane thing to do in the first place, but I kind of expect you to
I
do
probably would
anything.
have low lit for it. I probably would have said, "Oh, he was walking." I mean, the odds of somebody trying to do that with briefcase are kind of low, I think. I don't think green and cough is possible. Green and cough. What do you mean?
I should
Unless
go
you moved
forfeit,
before
right?
the nanner bread came out. I don't know what you mean by that, catnip. Green and cough is not possible. Like you can't green and cough because it fires immediately. Ready?
Yep.
All right, here we go. So this is where I've been feeling kind of uncomfortable on this map is as sniper. 1-3-1, 3-2-1. It's a bug path highlight there. General could have done it too. Normally, I don't like highlighting for things like that, but if it's early on in the game, it doesn't hurt to have a couple highlights. I can always bring them back down. They're just people who I want to see where they end up. No time add. No statue swap. No purloin. Is that a bug? I don't think so. We've got Oprah and General as a possible pair. Not a purloin was a really good time to purloin, so I'm going to low light there. That book is blue. Pearl's book is blue. It's a bad spot. No purloin. Can't see that statue, but I don't think it's swapped. I can check it later. But that's a middle statue and a possible bug for Queen. He hasn't moved in a long time. I want to see where he puts the book, but I don't think he's that's the spy. Ooh. I'm gonna low light. I can bring her back up if I need to. Oh no! Peer disconnected. What's going on? Hello?
What happened?
I'm not sure. Peer disconnected.
Yeah, said the same on my end.
Who were you?
Irish. I barely did anything.
I had you low lit, I think.
Yeah, I just went to statues and one cycled.
Yeah, I didn't notice you had statues. Try again. So I guess I had him low lit. Ominous glow. Yeah, I gotta get better lighting in here. I'll figure it out later. I'll figure it out another day. I just wanted to actually stream today. That's all. Alright, ready?
Yep.
Alright, here we go. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 3. Bugs? I don't think so. I don't think anybody bugged. I saw some kind of funky movement from Rocker, so I'm going to highlight her. 3, 1, 1, 3, 2, 3. Is that right? Wasn't it 3, 2, 1? I don't know. I'll highlight. 3, 1, 1, 3, 2, 3. Cowboy's book. Was that 3 at bookshelf? Briefcase bail was okay. I guess I'll neutral light for it. There's a whole lot of nothing going on this game. Gonna watch Seek here. It's not microfilming. Alright. That could have been a bug. Path seemed okay. Seek Irish Rocker. Seek already has a bug if he took it, so there's no reason for me to watch for it. Rocker's wasting a lot of time in this game. She's not really doing much. I gotta watch Queen. No purloin there. Hmm. Ooh, I don't like that path from Twin right there, so I want to highlight. Is this a BB? It would be a good time to BB right now. Both DAs are in. Where's the BB? Seek enters conversation. Quick BB after, but he's doing briefcase. Hmm. Guest list is gone. Okay. Can't be Carlos. Can't be Queen. Can't be him. Hmm. Seek is probably my top suspect for it because he did have a drink at the end. But I guess he needs something else if it is Seek. I don't think it's Alice. Seek grabs another briefcase. He didn't return the previous one, so I don't think there's a print on it. Oh, we're gonna find out in a minute here. Yeah. Seek?
Nope.
Whoa, you had a book. How'd you purloin?
I didn't. I returned it.
Oh. Oh, I saw General's book. For some reason, I thought it was in your hand. I saw a book moving around over there. Nice. Okay. Let's see how he enters this conversation.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, so he did do that briefcase cancel. And that's why I neutralate you for a briefcase bail. So that was good.
Oh, the highlight was for standing in amber or something.
Does he typically walk through the center of conversations? That's the second one he's done this game that probably an AI wouldn't have done. Okay. Always trust the 3 at books light. Didn't I highlight for that? It was 3 at books, right? It was Queen and Carlos, is that right? Take out swap again. I'd want to take out inspect because that's the worst mission, but swap's probably like the stronger choice. Ready?
All right.
Oh, SpyParty. So how is everybody tonight or today or whatever it is? Nah, screw it. I'm not gonna stay. That was horrible. Horrible pathing. I'm going to take kind of a long way around and try to walk with the Emba here. There we go. So that was pretty nice. That's the situation I really wanted right there. Looks like I might have been highlit for it, though. It's hard to tell. The laser did touch me, but let's get a green here. Oh, that's fine. Let's get a green here. Nope, that's not fine. I'm going to die here. Oh, well, at least I got a print from it. Silent game might still be winnable. As long as I am just cautious. Finish flirt, get another print. Don't gulp. I mean, there's a hard mode briefcase right here, right? But I don't really want to do that. gone now. Hopefully he returns it. There we go. Florida bookshelf. I'll grab a book, but I'm not going to do microfilm. I shouldn't have to. But if I walk around with a book for a while, he might wait for me to put it away somewhere, which will never happen. So that was way too short of a pause, but I really want this briefcase. So can he shoot for a hard and an easy fingerprint? He's got 3 seconds to do it. Alright, 2 hard tells, 2 soft tells. Silent game.
Oh.
Whoa, you didn't highlight me?
Nope.
Here's the bug.
I totally missed Purloin. I thought Iris took it.
Gotcha. I thought you might have highlighted me for the bug, which was pretty nice, I thought. And then afterwards you were watching when I purloined, so I was afraid that I was going to die there.
No, I missed everything, basically.
Gotcha. Yeah, so my plan with this bug was right around here was when I decided I was going to do it. The Amba's space was going to be invaded soon. So I start moving. I say, oh, the Amba's probably... There's a good chance the Amba's going to move this way, like towards Carlos on a straight path. There's just a decent chance of that. So I want to time my approach to the Amba with her leaving such that I'll be walking at the same rate that she's walking. And the fact that she's slower helps a lot here. But that's why I take kind of a wide path around this conversation. I want to waste a few seconds, or like a few milliseconds, just so I have that perfect timing with the Amba, so we can walk parallel. Those kinds of bugs are actually pretty fun to do. Alright, sorry about that. Ready?
Yep.
Alright, 112, 233. That's why I think bug is the best mission. There's just so much you can do with it. That was weird. Oh, he just put it away. He was just standing really close, I guess. Did she just get a second book? No, she put it away. Okay. It's 112233 now. If I'm going to believe that, then that it's swapped. I could start low-lighting some people. Either that or I mismemorized. 36, 35, 34, 33, 32. That was not a time ad. Wasting time. That's a blue book. That's a blue book. 112233. I'm not sure if I mismemorized or not. Let's see how this character enters conversation. Yeah, yerand kind of enters conversations that way most often, so maybe that. All right, he's talking. I can low light now. I'm really watching for a bug from that character. It's why I only took a few low lights. He's not doing it. Purloin, the guest list is gone. It's not you. Probably not Alice, to be honest. It can't be her. I'll highlight these two. I don't think Wheels. There's my 3 highlights. That's good. That could have been a bug. And this would be his second book. Okay, Pearl's top suspect walked through the center of a conversation and redirects off of briefcase. I know yerand will redirect, but he redirects too far away to get a better flirt. Is he done with flirt here? Or is that AI? Probably not queen. Carlos is still wasting a lot of time. I don't think it's wheels. And Alice isn't doing anything. Alice is being boring. This would be... I don't think she got all 3 inspects at that one statue, so she would have to visit again.
Yep.
Did you swap the middle statue in the back?
No.
No? Okay. I thought I mismemorized them, but it didn't... I wasn't suspicious of you because of it. But I was
Yeah,
afraid that missions were done.
Yeah, I did some missions very aggressively. Right in front of the laser.
Yeah, I marked you suspicious for Purloin. I didn't see the guest list disappear, but I saw you walk away from it. And later on, I saw you walk through the center of a conversation.
Did I?
Yeah, let me find it.
When I redirected?
Yeah, it was when you redirected. So you walked through the center of the conversation in front of Alice, and then you redirected from Briefcase. The redirect was okay, but I've noticed that you tend to walk through conversations. You should have walked around at 105.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, that's what I kind of want to do. I just want to show some of my thought process during the games. I want to show that behavioralism can be both fun and strong. That's what I would like to do. Oops, let me go back. Ballroom, 4 of 7. Where is it? I can never find it. There we go. And we'll turn off... I've been doing swap, but I'm going to turn off transfer this time. Even though I really do like transfer on this map, I don't think it's something that should
Ready?
always be disabled. Ready. I think it's important to switch the missions. Make your opponent check at the start of every game, and make them change what they look at every game or every few games. So books are pretty worthless right now. I'll hang out with this one for a little while, get a couple soft tells done, and then put it back where it belongs. It probably wouldn't even hurt me to put it where it doesn't belong if I am running low on time. It's not my turn to talk. I'm going to get my flirt. I think I can get away with it. Oh, there's the BB. Let me get this BB too. It's pretty nice. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. Ouch. 5 lowlights is not nice. Let's give it a few seconds, see if it gets better. It's improving. Conversations are starting to fill up. Papa Danger, get in there, and then I'll BB. That's good enough. I don't think it's going to get better than this.
Banana bread.
Hopefully an SDA was in one of these conversations, and then I'm in good shape. Alright, ST, where are you going? It's not really favorable for me, so I'll weird path my way in there and green flirt. Okay. Oh, highlight? Was that a highlight? Highlight for enter instant talk, maybe? Alright, wrong arm bug. Could be okay. Even though it'll be right in front of the sniper, it might not be super obvious because of my book. And why not? Let's read at Windows. Alright, what do I have left? I have swap, inspect, purloin, or fingerprint. Inspect could be tough. It could get me shot. But let's do it anyway. Inspect is fun. We'll know now if I'm highlight or not. If I'm highlight, he'll probably shoot. But if I'm not highlight, then I will probably get a highlight here and win the game. I'm only getting a 2 cycle, which is fine. Now he could be counting and waiting to shoot, waiting for bad pathing or something like that. But no.
I should have shot.
Yeah, was I highlight before the statue?
Yes.
Highlight for instant talk?
Kinda. Well, pretty much.
I don't like the path I made into that conversation either, so it could have been that maybe.
I didn't really see the path.
Yeah, I wasn't highlight
So
till after,
it,
so.
it was a bit arbitrary, and then I noticed you're also talking, so that was a bit more of a thing. And then I thought I saw the bug, but I really wasn't sure because it was the wrong arm, and I don't know.
Yeah,
My angle wasn't really good for it.
that's what I was hoping. I was hoping that you'd see the book in my arm and second guess the bug there. But I was surprised that you didn't shoot me for the inspects. I thought that might be it.
I was actually. Was there a fingerprint in that statue? Yes, there was. And I was trying to remember if you had a fingerprint, and that's basically why I didn't shoot, because I kind of forgot about the bug.
Gotcha. The BB was pretty decent. I think I only gave you 3 lowlights and you only took one of them. You missed Irish. She was right in front of you.
Yeah. Yeah, I was more concerned with Toby at that moment because he was way in the back there.
Yeah, he likes to hide the list. Yeah, I got a decent number of greens that game. 3 greens on inspect. That way I didn't have to stand there too long, which was kind of nice. And I got 2 greens on the flirts, which I think was the best part. Ready?
Yep.
Alright, no mismemorizing this game. Something 1-1. Is it 1-1-1? Yeah, it's 1-1-1. 1-2-1. Bugs. Maybe. Watching for those bugs, but I didn't see any. Alright, green dress. Ooh. It's either Taft or green dress, I think, for swap. Let's see, who can't it be? One of the twins was at bookshelf. It can't be you. It can't be Boots. It can't be her. Um, these are all the people who I was watching before I noticed the swap. Assuming that I noticed and did not mismemorize. Oh, was that a bug right there? If it was, it didn't take. I'm pretty sure it's Irish, though. So one more. She's done with swap and inspect. She may have bug, and she either needs BB or flirt. So she's flirting with Carlos or Papa Danger, most likely. Maybe Twin.
And the end of red.
Is that real or fake? That was fake if it's her. And then a reject. Is it gone? It's gone. Does she have a drink? Who has a drink? Damn it. Okay, These two are the real BB suspects. I don't like that entrance from Twin at all. He takes a drink. Amba does not have one. She leaves and re-enters conversation. If she's flirting with Papa Danger, then she could be finishing here. Her BB was fake, though. So she has flirt. I don't think she got that bug. It's all whether or not she got that bug. I want to see what Twin does here, if he does anything. Where's Papa Danger now is the question. Because if she follows Papa Danger, I can shoot. Ten, 9. Nobody's doing anything. Is that timeout or did he win? Wow, you finished just in time. What did you do at the very end?
Flirt?
Oh, I thought you were flirting Papa Danger.
Yeah, I didn't actually want to flirt at first, because I wanted to bug, and then I missed the bug. Then I wanted to fake BB for no reason, and I just action priorities.
Yeah, nice game. His first flirt, Uran shows like a really bad spot for a flirt. If he didn't get a green on that first flirt, then he would have only been at like 15 or 17%, which is a really bad position to begin flirt in. So what's his plan? He enters, gets a bad flirt. If it's green, then he can continue and finish flirting. If it's white, he can't flirt that game, or he has to be really crazy about his flirts. So that's a really interesting choice for a player to make. Typically, your first flirt, you want to get green, especially if you don't think you've been highlit. So maybe he was pretty sure he'd been highlit. Did he try to bug here? It looks like he did. Is this what I saw? Yeah, that's what I saw. I saw like the tail end of it. So it was his right arm. You can kind of see his right arm going out right here. And when it rotates, I can barely see it here. Yeah, I thought I saw the bug there, but I really thought you'd have to do something at the end. I thought you'd have to move. And when nobody moved at the end, I figured I'd just wait it out. So I was wrong. Good job.
Thank you.
Talking about veranda and specs. Yeah, veranda, inspecting on veranda was like impossible back in the day. It was just dumb. Veranda's improved quite a bit since it was originally put in. All right, swap is out. Let's see what happens. I'm kind of feeling
Ready?
microfilm this game. Ready. I haven't done it yet, and I imagine he'll be watching Bug and Purloin a bit more since those are the missions I've been favoring. I'm in a decent position for a Bug here, but it's a little bit of an obvious position, and the Emba's not going to let me have it anyway, so I don't need to think about it anymore. So that's okay. All right, for my first flirt, I will get. Hopefully, I can do year-end strategy here and get a 32% or 30% green. And we'll see. Yeah, that works. 27%. Okay. I think that's bad. Yeah, I love to bug. Yeah, it's worth watching bug against me. I don't do it every game, but I do it most games. And even though I'm pretty good at it, that doesn't make it that means you should watch it even more because I'm more likely to do it. All right, so I'm going to do some old school microfilm stuff.
And the end of red.
Grab my green flirt. And Ambo, what are you going to do? Oh, she's going to a bookshelf. That's good for me. That's pretty good. Let's see if there's a hard mode print here. There is, and it's mine. Not going to bug. That's kind of a rough spot to behind the back bug. I still need my flirt here. And I'll stop talking. I don't think it was noticed. General, looks like you just bugged there. I'll have to BB when he's in conversation. I think I need to go for this print now. This is the part that's dangerous. White test. And there, this is a pretty good game. The microfilm at the end had no cover, but I was lucky and he was rotating around the other side. Oh,
Oh, was there a fingerprint in blue?
Yeah, I printed. I got a hard briefcase, and then I got the printed shelf.
Yeah, I forgot about the print and books completely.
Yeah, I was hoping to wait a little bit, but then another guest returned a book, and I wasn't sure if it was a hard print there or a normal one. But luckily, it wasn't hard. You almost low-lit me for the BB split, huh?
Yeah.
Good recovery.
And in the red.
Yeah, there was a fair amount of lowlights from BB, but yeah, I have made the mistake of going overboard in the past.
I was kind of surprised I got away with the transfer at the very end. Especially now that I know I was high lit. It's kind of surprising.
I'm not sure what I was looking at, to be honest.
I'm
I was
always
looking at
talking
the
about
amber.
bug.
There were a lot of people passing by.
Yeah, a lot of people walked by the Amba, but I never, I didn't try to bug. Oh no. I think the button I use for my push to talk might be the same as the go back button on browsers, on my Chrome browser, so I need to fix that later. Alright, ready?
Yep.
Whoa, I was way zoomed out. What was that all about? This is really, really laggy. Alright, something 2-3, 1-3-2. I see why it's laggy. Let me fix it. There we go, that's better. Alright, 2-2-3, 1-3-2. Anything could have happened at the beginning of that game. Except for maybe swap, that's the only thing I was really able to guard. 2-2-3, 1-3-2. Seek rejected a drink and is doing briefcase. It's probably not Seek then. That was a great position to purloin. I'm watching Rocker right now. She didn't microfilm. Briefcase in the middle statue, no microfilm. Oh, it's side statue. Ah, fuck it. Low light. Sorry, language. This is not a PG-13 stream anymore. Queen red, maybe? I know he likes to flirt from far away. Gessel's still there. I think General just broke an animation. So is it General Twin? Ooh, that was really spy-like. I'm gonna watch that. If it is him, he doesn't have much done. He's flirting with General, but or possibly Twin, but unlikely. He'd be most likely be flirting with General, and even if he's finished with flirt, he has a lot left to do. 223 132. I don't think that was a bug from Carlos. No purloin. Twin's back there dealing with a drink. No purloin. It's not him. Alright, Queen, top suspect. It can't be you. Did somebody just reject a drink? No. So it can't be one of them. Can't be you. Possible swap.
In the red.
It's Queen. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. For some reason, I thought it was a green time ad. I didn't even really look at the clock after it jumped.
I was hoping it would be green, but yeah.
Why a fake BB at the end? Just to try to provoke a shot.
Yeah, just something.
Yeah. I guess both DAs were not with guests, but I was pretty sure it was you by that point anyway. And just in case, like if the DA had bailed on you just before you did it or something, I shot.
Yeah, I had a feeling I'm a bit obvious with flirts, but at the same time, I didn't really know what else I can do.
I didn't think you were too obvious with flirts. I highlight you. Where did I highlight you? Why did I highlight?
At minute 30.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. I think it was because I don't know. It had something to do with your conversation position. I thought maybe you were flirting with the character as across from you, Oprah.
Yeah, I just generally mismanaged my time, and I didn't want to swap because I felt like you're watching me.
Gotcha.
Ready?
Ready. Okay, no swap this time. Get away from Amba. Remove the temptation. Amba's in a very buggable location right now. I just have to find the timing. That sounds good. In fact, I could probably purloin with Amba in this position. Just gotta wait for somebody to walk around. Here we go. There's no guest list there. I kind of want that fingerprint, but all right, now's a good time to bug because he's going to notice the purloin now. Maybe not. His laser kind of reacted in my direction, but it didn't touch me. So it's hard to tell. But I might be highlit for that path. This is actually a good BB. It's actually, yeah, it's a good BB.
And the end of red.
So let's take it. It's fake, but I'm showing a mission, and I had a reasonably strong BB. There's a good chance that the SDA was in my conversation, which is kind of where I want the SDA. Because I want it to look like there's a high chance that somebody in that conversation purloined and BB'd. But in any case, I'm one flirt away and a BB away from winning. So let's get started on some of that. Ooh, pathing is hard. This is a good BB too. As long as DA doesn't
And the end of
leave.
red.
Oh, man!
Oh, damn it.
Nice.
Oh, that was correct.
Yeah, what was that for?
So you enter convo, insta-talk, leave, join another insta-talk, leave, join another insta-talk. I also
Okay,
thought you could have bugged.
nice. Yeah, good job. I need to talk less, apparently. Or
Oh,
not as to
also, I think
talk.
you ignored Toby, actually. Yeah, that's the reason I highlight you.
Okay. Is Pires making... Or is Piers making drug references? I can't follow the chat. There's way too much stuff going on. Alright, ready?
Yep.
Okay, 312, 121. I'm watching Taft. I want to see what Taft does. Queen Pearls. Okay, I'm 90% certain it's Alice. She has inspect, bug, and swap done. So what's she gonna finish with? Probably flirt. Let's see who she talks to. Obviously, it can't be you. It can't be Taft. Alice, where'd you just go? I don't even see her now. Okay.
And the end of red.
That's a real BB. I'm gonna shoot.
Nice.
Swap, inspect, BB, bug.
Swab, bug, purloin, BB. Purloin was going off, like, as you shot me.
Oh, you didn't get all three inspects. Gotcha.
Did you see
Yeah,
the
it was...
fade, or?
No, I don't think anybody was at the statue before you, right?
Pop Danger was.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't see the fade and I didn't see Papa Danger there, so it was just you.
She was also taking the drink, so I was hoping it's going to be awesome. But
It could have been, but no, I'm not that good. I didn't see it.
I mean, he credited me with bugs, so and he didn't have bugs,
Yeah,
so
I thought that was a bug for sure. I keep hitting mirror. How many games is that?
I have no clue.
Okay, one more and then I'm gonna stop playing for a bit and do some replays. I'm only kind of
Alright.
good. I'm hitting like 60%. I'm hitting 60%. That's
Ready?
more than 50. Ready? So that's okay. That's okay. Bloom hits like 90 percentile, so I gotta reach that point. I feel like he's been a bit lax on books, so this time I'm gonna kind of cheese it. I'll do, it's like a slow cheese. I'll grab a book early, like I've just done, but I'll keep it for a while and get rid of it when Purloin is being threatened or when the Emba's in kind of a rough space. And I'm thinking that, because I've been getting highlight for Bug a lot, I think it would be a good idea to grab that as my last mission, because then even if I get highlight for it, I still won't be shot, I think. I just don't want to Bug, get highlight, and then get shot for something else later. Damn it, DA. Yeah, I thought there might be a reverse Bug opportunity there. I probably should have taken that one, but I wasn't sure if she'd come by. Alright. Let's go get rid of this book. That BB was not looking too good. I mean, I can get a flirt first. I'll wait a little bit because he likes to highlight people for instant talk. Which is good because I guess I do it a lot. Where's the Emba? Emba's in kind of an interesting spot. Not anymore. It doesn't matter. Looks clean. I think I got away with that microfilm. Which would mean Bug BB is all I have left. Or Inspect BB. Let's Inspect BB. I'll do that. There's my highlight. Oh god, I got red. I might 3-cycle this one. Nope, I got out. I'm going to wait on the BB for a few seconds. If I don't get the BB, I'll take the Bug. So I have kind of a backup plan, but I really don't want to do a crappy BB here at the end. Oh, screw it. I'm taking it. And we'll see if I get shot. Nope, I got it. GG.
GG. Yeah, I was tempted to shoot my top, except I wasn't sure who's my top, and I wasn't sure what missions you had done.
Microfilm was my hard tell. Yeah. I figured you'd be watching Bug pretty closely since you've been highlighting me for it most games. And I was hoping I could sneak a microfilm past if you were busy with Bug.
Microfilm is easily my worst mission on this map.
Yeah, a lot of people
There's just
turn it
too
off.
much going on.
A lot of people turn it off. Not a lot of people do it even when it's on, so it can be surprising. One more to Palindrome? Am I there? Did I make it? No, one more, yeah, one more. Alright, good games, man. I
Jeez.
appreciate playing with you.
It was a pleasure.
Alright, I'm gonna mute Discord audio. And do some, I don't know if I want to call it a cast. I'm gonna look at some replays. And I figured I'd look at... Awesome, yeah, thank you for playing with me. So what do people want to see? Here are the replays I was looking at. I've got Bloom versus Trevor. I have falconhit versus Piers and Sharper versus Yerand. I just played Yerand, so that could be a fun set to go over. Falconhit versus Piers could also be pretty fun. So what would you guys rather see? falconhit versus pires is what Viri says. Okay, alright, I'll do that one. Steph says Viri versus KCM Softail Balcony. I'll let you guys know that yesterday Viri beat me 14-7 on Balcony Softails. It was nasty. I think he won the overall set by maybe 3 games because I did really well on Veranda. But he won 10 in a row on Balcony, and then I won 5 or 6 in a row. And then he won all but 2 more games after that. It was 7-14 at the end. It was pretty nasty. Yeah, don't mess with Viri. Don't mess with Viri. Okay, so I'll go through falconhit versus pires. That does sound like a fun one. Or pires, I'm sorry. And what I want to do with this, I'll leave it on casting mode, even though it's kind of not necessary. And actually, I prefer not to, but I know you guys want it to be kind of casty. But what I kind of want to do is look at pires because falconhit. Well, spoilers. Never mind. Spoilers. Pires is going to win this set. I'm not going to cast it. I'm going to do it my way. So if you don't want spoilers, then I don't know, don't watch. So what I want to do is kind of go through this as a player analysis, see if I can look at some of Pires' habits, just in case I encounter him later on in the tournament. And he's in the audience, so he's going to know if I do spot anything. But we'll see what happens. Alright, so first game, falconhit is the spy. And I guess I can use split screen view. That's fine. Alright, so falconhit's going to start off with a book. Microfilm is disabled, so I'm not really sure I understand why Pires highlights there. It might be because... Let's see. It can't be etiquette because the AI sipped and then he almost immediately grabbed a drink. So it's just kind of maybe a routine highlight, maybe because of the proximity to the Amba. Not sure. But falconhit's going to start off with a highlight, which is pretty rough. I can't even see the spy from that angle. Screw it. We'll just do this. Switch back and forth. Gonna idle a bit and not do anything for a while. I mean, there's no way falconhit can suspect that he's high-lit. But he's going to get neutral lit in a second here. I'm surprised he hasn't even grabbed his flirt yet. I would have liked to have grabbed the flirt by now, and he was low lit. Maybe for that, I don't know. Pires plays really weird, and I'm just going to skip through a bit of this game, but not that fast. That was a bit too fast. Falconhit, low lit. Here we go. Follows seduction target. He hasn't even gotten a flirt yet. So he's really, really behind. At 2 minutes, he has nothing done. And he's just going to try to begin flirting here. If he hits a green test, then flirt is still pretty good, but he doesn't. He hits a white test. Even with a green purloin, I think he's going to have trouble with time on this game. I mean, assuming that he was still neutral lit when he got the purloin done, that's still only one and a third mission with half of the map time played out, which means he's going to have to hit up middle statue. He's going to have to try to get a bug or something, take the BB he can get and not wait for the best BB. This one's still pretty good, only 3 lowlights. Pires gets all 3 of them, so that's fine. He's got to be feeling pretty comfortable. Since his top suspect is talking during BB. There's the second flirt. He's doing an okay job catching up. but he has had to move kind of fast. He's going to have to either wait here for, what, 30 more seconds and get a flirt and then visit statue in the last 30 seconds. That just sounds really scary. Turtle crawl. So with a minute left, he wants his flirt a little bit quicker. No middle statue. Maybe he wants... What's he trying to do here? He can't be thinking about fingerprint. He has to get this flirt now that the seduction target has stopped moving. It has to be a close flirt, because if he gets white, he from far away, he wouldn't finish it. He does finish flirt, but now with only 25 seconds left, it's going to be hard to win. He gets shot anyway, but, I mean, what was he going to do? Was he going to go to middle statue? Maybe bug. Those are his only 2 remaining options, I think. So that's just a really bad position for the Spy to put themselves in. Pires, on the other hand, was on top of it the whole game, but I'm not really sure why. He's kind of all over the place with that character. So let's take a look. I want to look at some of the highlights here. So Pires highlights Amba, lowlights Cast, and highlights the Spy here. So I want to see why. That could have been a mistake. Or he lowlights the Amba. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how he highlight falconhit there. Seems kind of random. He did lowlight here. My guess is for the idling. Character enters conversation and doesn't talk for, well, the entirety of the time they're there, but about 15 seconds before it was before they were neutral lit and low lit. So possibly for entering conversation close to another character and not talking. Especially early on in the game when, you know, your first flirt you usually do pretty fast. So that could be a pretty good low light. He does end up highlighting later for joining another conversation, I guess. And one thing I noticed about falconhit is a lot of the conversations he joins are pretty direct entries. So here, for example, I mean, it's the only spot that's available, so it's understandable. But then when he leaves here, he's going to leave and he's going to kind of just scoop around and go straight in, if I recall. Yeah, like that. And that's one of those kind of Canadian Bacon highlights right there. Is if Canadian Bacon sees a character just take a direct path into conversation like that, that looks very spy-like. Normally, I'd like to see the player, if they're not trying to flirt, probably step around this way, and then when they get to the conversation, walk around it a little bit, and maybe end up in a spot like right here, or right over here. Behaviorally, those spots are not very valuable, right? Because you can't get a great flirt from that position, from here or here, and it's really AI-like to walk around the conversation into a bad position. Instead, he just takes the direct path. So possible highlight for something like that. And then here, let's see what this looks like. I mean, that's pretty okay. I don't like the path itself. It just seems a little bit awkward at the end. But again, it would be more AI-like to continue and end up in like this spot right here. I hope you guys can see my mouse. So I'm not saying necessarily that you lowlight for a person who picks that spot. That's like an option you have. You can lowlight if you think that they're going to try to get a better spot than that. But them picking spots like these seems a little bit more spy-like. See what his last entry looks like. So this is one of the things that I'll do when I'm looking at replays, is try to figure out a player's movement patterns. You could say that it's pathing related, but they're not necessarily like hard tells. They're just kind of pathing behaviors. What are these players? How do they like to enter conversations? And you'll notice that the moment that he enters a conversation, in each entry here, he stops the moment that he enters the conversation. He doesn't enter the circle and then walk around it, which you will see AI doing. Let me find an example. Maybe the double agent here. Well, I thought he was just in that conversation. Let's see how he entered it. Should be right around now. Okay. Am I confusing things? I am. Alright, here's Carlos. Let's see what he does. See how he enters, and instead of taking the spot right next to Irish, instead of like going right next to Irish, he enters the conversation at that location, and he paths in the conversation next to Seek. So after entering the conversation, he takes like another step. You can kind of see it with Seduction Target here, although that one's relatively direct. So it's by no means like a hard tell. Here's a really good example with Papa Danger. He could enter a conversation here, but he enters there, walks around to this spot, which is still not a good spot for flirt. That kind of movement is the sort of thing that I didn't see anything from falconhit that looked like that yet. All right, next up, Pires the Spy. So we'll stop talking about bacon strats if they're still what he does, and we'll see what Pires does or what Pires does. All right, he is. I can't tell what character he is. Oh, he is Carlos, the cowboy character. I love Carlos. I think he's a great character. Oops. And that was a game. So let's see what happened here with this bug. I think he just tried to plant and it was discovered. Yeah. Really unfortunate movement by the Emba here. But I would think that was probably Space Invasion. Yeah, that really looks like Space Invasion there. I think she's in the middle of an animation. No, she could be. That could have just been her time to leave. The log doesn't say, but it sometimes doesn't say, so it's hard to tell. If it was Space Invasion, then Pires could have avoided it by just watching the meter. But I just cannot tell. So it is an unfortunate leave. In any case, had she not left, I think falconhit was watching it pretty closely just to have seen that. So it could have been a highlight, even if the bug had taken and hadn't been fully visible. Is there anything else I can say about this one? He greened a purloin at the very start, so that's pretty good. The enter and start talking. He could have flirted there, which I find kind of strange. I guess Pires was probably focused more on the purloin and probably thinking about the bug, but that could have been a flirt, which would have been nice. Ends up, it doesn't matter in the end. So, moving on to the next map. Some games are just really short in SpyParty. This one should work pretty well with this camera view, since it's a very narrow map. falconhit takes control right away, good. And bug contact seduce are the missions. Get a drink, okay. And a couple highlights from Pires. Both on 2 talkers, I believe. Interestingly, the spy was talking at that time, but did not receive a highlight. And falconhit's going to stay in conversation. I would have kind of liked leaving conversation here. Your spot in CC isn't so great that you really want to keep it. And even though I think he got a green before this, right? That was a green. Yeah, it had to be 34%. You'd still want to be closer for your next flirt. And since everybody's leaving, I think it's kind of if all the characters have left the conversation, then the AI behavior is to leave the conversation. So you probably want to follow suit with that and do what the rest of the AI are doing. And then you can come back in and get a better flirt.
And the red.
White BB is not going to help. Gives Piers a low... well, he already had that low light, I think, but guarantees it. And now he's going to leave conversation when fewer people have left conversation here. The conversation's almost starting to pick back up. So it's really not an AI time to leave conversation. This is when you leave, when this is the timing that you leave when you know that you want a better flirt. Gonna take the bug. Probably not a good idea. But, I mean, what else can he do? He needs to either find a bug or find a magic flirt in here. Because he can get a flirt right now, but he'll still be 20 seconds away from losing and about 45 seconds away from winning. But luckily Bondo talks and Pires doesn't want to have any of that. It is really hard not to shoot on this map. It's really hard. So let's see what Pires' top suspect was up to. Game starts. He's at window. I remember he received a highlight right around here, yeah, for talking. My guess is it has something to do with the interrupt. So Bondo talks, General talks soon afterwards, and maybe Pires says, well, there was an interrupt. There's a good chance that one of these two people talked out of turn. General kind of did. I think it was supposed to be Bondo's turn to talk. Yeah, it was Bondo's turn to talk, and then General interrupts. So highlight both of those people. One of them's probably an interrupter. Misses the third interrupt, which is the spy. That's okay. That's okay. And then Bondo does nothing for a while. Gets a second flirt close to General, so that's pretty big. Enters, and then he does talk. I think that's a pretty justified shot. I don't think it's bad. What it does show me is that Pires is more likely to shoot if he thinks a guest is done. Some people will wait it out and hope that their opponent, didn't get the green they needed or, whatever. But I do think it's a justified shot. But unfortunately wrong. The correct move here would have just been to wait and force a timeout. Because a timeout was inevitable. A timeout or a bug crash was going to happen if, or maybe a time ad if he had waited. All right, now it's Pires' turn. And also, if anybody has any questions or comments, go ahead and type them in. If you put like an @ if you type @KCMMMM, then my name kind of lights up, and I'll know that you're directing your question at me or something. If I can get chat to quit scrolling around like crazy. Slow-mo replay of Pires losing. Okay, from 3 camera angles. Yeah, I can do that. Pires says he was not his top, but he decided to talk, so he deserves to die. Yeah, that basically is fair. He had two flirts close to the same person. Even if you're not tracking distance to character, 2 flirts is kind of a red flag on balcony. And then he entered, and he spoke within about 5 or 6 seconds, I think. That's pretty reasonable. Why am I so cool? I'm not cool. I'm playing video games. All right. So next up, let's see Pires. I don't know what the score is. I want to say, is it 3-0? No, it's 2-1 because they split ballroom, and Pires lost that game. So currently, falconhit is ahead 2-1, I believe. Yeah, 2-1 Falcon. Thank you, yerand. All right, let's see this game. Pires takes control while moving, goes into an unproductive spot. He could time ad here, but I don't think he will. Yeah. It's a reasonable path into CC, and it brings him right where he needs to be. This is time to BB, and he greens it. That's interesting. That's a lot of highlights from falconhit before the BB. Oh, he's zooming in, so I can't see what's going on. I'll just play like this. Pires takes drink and leaves, gets a low light, but is brought back up. And he did get that flirt at windows, which is excellent. Waited outside the conversation long enough for the flirt cooldown to drain quite a bit. Whoa! What happened there? Falconhit doesn't know either, and he decides to shoot. Okay, so I don't really like the shot, but let's see what happened with Pires here. So Pires, he could flirt here. For whatever reason, he chooses not to. Sips and he leaves. This is strange to me because it definitely seems like he left consciously. It wasn't like an accidental button press. He didn't break animation. He did it correctly. And it looks like he wants to do briefcase. I see what you're trying to do, Pires. That's cheeky. I think what he wanted to do was make it look like the ambo was like in his way and blocking his spot. But the AI won't really behave in that way because in this situation. So is that why he did it? He said he wanted briefcase, but then saw ambo, panicked, and for some reason nerves took control and he started walking again, which was pretty bad. It looked really weird. I see the reason I didn't like falconhit shooting for it is because it doesn't accomplish anything. It doesn't accomplish a mission. It's not a threat to the sniper. So it's just evidence that you add to your list for this suspect. And then when this person comes back in and talks, then you say, okay, they might be finishing, and you shoot them. But wait until a person could be done, just in case there's another BB and that person's out of conversation. Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. So we wanted the briefcase, and you said ambo's too close, and it'll be a hard tell if I pick it up. Is I guess what you're thinking. Which is true, but yeah, I don't know why you're doing briefcase there anyway. He should be sorry. Should be very sorry. Never make mistakes. What is the score? Is it 3-1? You're getting your butt kicked, bro. Alright, high rise. Time to turn it around. Oops. Alright, let's see what happens. Is this a good view for this map? It's never a good view. I'll just switch between them. Okay, so Pires is sniper. He's really got to win one now. He really has to win one. A lot of slow play early on from these players. It's kind of refreshing. A lot of people will try to rush something, you know, whatever location you end up in, get what you can in that spot. But both of these players are starting off the games by with a lot of respect towards their opponents and idling early on. And I think that's typical of falconhit. He's known for slow play. Pires, I'm not so sure what he's known for. But yeah, falconhit likes to run the clock down. All right, his BB gets pretty unfortunate. He hits the white test, and the DA leaves here. And there should be 2 lowlights for Pires if he was really paying attention. Maybe 3 lowlights if she was out. Yeah, she was, so there are 3 potential lowlights, but that's okay. It'll probably work itself out. There's going to be another BB this game if falconhit keeps playing and doesn't make any big mistakes. So grab your 25% flirt. That's okay. middle statues now or side statue? Okay. Pierre's not gonna highlight for it. I haven't seen him highlight for statues yet, actually. So I guess, yeah, this is a fine play. I still would have liked to... I probably would like him to see him have a bit more done with flirt before he goes to statue, but that's fine. Green purloin coming up. There it is, green purloin. Pires may be on top of this one, though. Double agent's gonna grab it. Pires doesn't need to see the animation to know that it's a green test. But no highlights, no lowlights coming off. So you see that, you gotta start lowlighting. Alright, here we go. Here we go, he's getting the lowlights. There's a highlight on the spy. And I think the game's down to just 2 characters, right? Yeah, it's down to 2 characters. So who's going to do something? Falconhit needs another statue. He needs 2 more flirts. He could get a green here. If he gets another green, no, he has to leave. I don't think the cooldown will expire if he just stays there. So he needs to leave and come back. He needs to leave, come back, and talk immediately to... just really far behind on time. He needs a statue, a flirt, not enough time to do both. Statue swap, like inspect swap, might have been his only option if he had gone straight from the conversation to do it. Even with a green, he's too far away. And he would have been the overtime shot for entering and instant talking anyway. So, yeah. Just playing really slow. And from Pires' point of view, this is perfectly played. Even though the spy is showing a mission, if you're confident of that 50-50 that you have, and at the end, he has 2 highlights and a neutral light, and there's probably a good chance he's not at all suspicious of Boots, but just isn't going to waste time low-lighting her. And if none of your 2 highlights are doing anything, then yeah, just wait it out. Force one of them to make a move. And then when he talks, there's only 2 seconds left. Even if it's the last mission, you still get overtime. So, good patience from Pires. Now it's his turn. What is my confidence in Pires bringing people up? Well, honestly, I'm not super familiar with Pires. He's still a relatively new player in the community, even though he's played like 1 billion games now. I've only played Pires like 3 times, so I don't know a whole lot about how he handles his highlights and lowlights. He doesn't seem to lowlight much or to highlight for statues. And there's probably a sense of some behavioralism in there, whether it's gut instinct or whether there's a lot of careful logic behind it. His locations for highlighting characters are kind of interesting to me, so I'm not sure how what his process is yet. Let's see. Animations. What is your confidence that Falcon can do animations properly? I think I've seen Falcon break a few animations. I can go back, see if he did. That's another thing I typically look at. If I see in replays that a person breaks a lot of animations, I'll spend more time watching that. If somebody doesn't break a lot of animations, then I won't watch for it as much, and then they can kind of get away with it once in a while. But let's see. Spy leaves conversation here. I mean, part of the problem with Falconhit is that he never leaves conversations, so he's not breaking as many animations as more active players, simply because of that. That was a perfect leave. No animation break in there, as far as I can tell. I mean, Bloom might be able to tell if that's a slight animation break. But I don't think it was. He shifts over here slightly to his right, and then he shifts back and leaves. So that looks pretty good to me. And then I don't think he left conversation again. Where is it? There's one. Yeah, that looked good. If it's breaking an animation there, it's very subtle, and this is definitely the time to start breaking animations. When you have 20 seconds left and need 2 missions, you have no business worrying about animations. Just get your stuff done. Ideally, you're not in a position where you need to break animations at the end of a game, because it is a risk that you can avoid by simply pacing out your missions better. So the next game was supposed to be, what, Pires as Spy, right? And High Rise. I don't think we've seen this one yet. Right, we haven't seen this one yet. If there's a kappa, it can't be a lie. What? Drawn has never broken an animation in his life. But, on the other hand, up until Drawn played like 16,000 games, you were allowed to lowlight for every single briefcase that happened, because he didn't touch the briefcase once in like 16,000 games. I think he's doing it now. Drawn's the best. I love you, Drawn. I love you, Drawn. Alright. Pires, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Enter and flirt? Alright, he waits a little bit so he's not instant talking. I think he still interrupts a guest, so he doesn't wait for it to be his turn. Oh, and the stop talk. I probably wouldn't have liked the stop talk, but it doesn't matter. And the fact that Queen also did it makes it a little bit better. But yeah, a close flirt is one of my favorite openings in this game. I think at this point I do it often enough to where it's almost a tell, like a player tell. But I do really like the flirt opening. If you get a close green flirt and that's the first thing you do and you're not highlight for it, it's just so nice. All right, the BB here is pretty good, especially since the other DA joined. The downside is she joined a little bit too late for it to be real. It's hard for falconhit to notice that unless he was paying attention, but it looks like he was. So good on him. He lowlights for the fake BB, and I guess assumes real. The real is still good though. It's still a big real, and if it was fake, there's the potential of a fake there. So it's not a bad BB. Yeah, falconhit's thinking about it and even brought a character back up who faked. So Pires, 2 missions and a flirt, or a mission and a flirt, with 2 minutes left, and he's going to grab a fingerprint here. I think this is a pretty good position with regards to time. Getting started on fingerprint with 2 minutes left is pretty fair. You're not guaranteed to finish it, but it's looking good, and he's going to grab this flirt here. This is kind of suspicious, but I don't think obviously so. Put the book where it belongs. That's good. You don't need to microfilm. You're doing really well on your soft tells. You got 1 done, and then 2 halves of each done. So that's good. Ooh, I don't know how I feel about that entry. I want to see that again. Yeah, it's hard for me to describe, but this entry feels a little bit rocky to me, and I'm not sure exactly what it is. It's the kind of thing that out of the corner of my eye I'd look at it and just, highlight for. That's okay though. He was a little too far to get a bug, so it's not a huge threat. I think he's in bug range, but he wouldn't have been in walking bug range, so he has to do a CC bug from this position if he wants it. As sniper, falconhit's looking at it pretty closely, so, and it's a very visible position, so it's not a huge threat unless he looks away. And flirt is done. He's got fingerprint done. I think middle statue could even be good here. Pires probably wants to get a bug, because the alternative to bug is middle statue, which is pretty scary. Ooh, broken animation to sip, I think. Let's see. Maybe not. I can never tell. It's if it was a broken animation, it was really close. New art's really hard. Oh, it is going to be bug. I'm surprised that took, to be honest. He had to take a really wide path around to windows that the AI probably wouldn't normally take. So the bug isn't bad, but it wasn't the one I was expecting. Let me take a look at this. I'm really surprised that took. Okay, so the reason is because from this position, you're just close enough to where if you begin a bug before you leave, you'll wrong arm bug, right? Because say he didn't have this drink and he started bugging and then started walking, he'd bug with his left arm pointing towards the sniper. But the bug would take because you'd be right about here as the bug became active. But instead, he starts walking in bugs immediately after he starts walking, which makes the bug become active here, which is much later. And as it happens, he just barely grazes the hitbox of the ambo with the active bug, like right there. And so this is where it's active. That's right at the edge of where a bug will take. So if he was just standing just a tad closer to the ambo, like maybe a pixel or two closer, I don't think it would have taken. So that's a really, I think, kind of a lucky bug, at least with regards to it taking. With regards to the fact that it was the correct decision, then there was no luck involved in that. It was definitely the right decision. And if it didn't take, he still had enough time to get another one. If it didn't take, he had enough time to stand here and think, oh, should I add time? Should I rush over to the statue and do something really dangerous? Maybe you can go to one of these close statues and get a swap. Swap is turned off, so never mind. But I guess if it didn't take, time add and another bug attempt were probably the best two options. Purloin maybe could have been an option. So Piers was still actually in position to win even without the bug. So that's a good play. The fact that it took is really nice, but wasn't. I don't think that was necessary. Luck game confirmed. Luck game confirmed. Yeah, I point out that a player is like 1% lucky in a decision that they made, and it's all luck. There's definitely a lot of skill, and the decision was correct. I do think, though, that it was just barely at the edge of what an active bug should have been, or where, a player can be confident that it will take. But that's a fine game. And falconhit, it gets away from him. I'm not really sure what falconhit could have done in this game to win it. BB was white, so could have highlit talkers if you wanted to gamble on the BB. And there's no reason not to do that. The party looks like this. He's assuming real, so low light these two people. Right? BB goes off. falconhit says, oh, that's real. I'm going to low light these two people because that DA entered just before the BB entered or happened. So, or entered just after, I think. Let's see.
Banana bread.
Yeah, so the character would have had to start the BB before the DA entered. So even if that became a real, it would have been a fake beforehand. So low light those two, fine. And then the rest of your characters are all in this conversation. Every guest remaining. So if you're assuming these two are AI, then the spy is here. And then you can play balcony. You can just highlight the talker if you want to be like Wodar. So let's see what that looks like.
Banana bread.
Banana bread. Low light those two. And probably could have considered looking at the talkers. Tracking fingerprints. Both the fingerprints that Pires got were not hard fingerprints, so they were relatively trackable. And paying attention to flirt. Catching the bug at the end, obviously. But it was a hard bug to catch. So just a great game by Pires. falconhit had a hard time with that one because it was a hard game for Sniper to win. All right, score is 3-3, right? Pires is bringing it back with a sweep on high rise. So let's look at courtyard 2. Pires is a real fan of Prince. Yeah, maybe. He printed that game. I don't know if he's printed any other game, but I can't remember. All right, Falcon. He's going to play slow again. This I don't like. I think it's good for a player to be patient, but when your opponent has shown that they can outpatience you, it's time for you to start doing things. The last game that they played, Pires waited for a timeout, and he got it. He won via timeout. So falconhit should play a little bit faster. Instead, he's not grabbing his flirts. He's not a suspect yet. He probably should consider getting started on flirt. ST is not giving that to him. Let's see if he's looking for it, though. So falconhit enters a conversation at the start of the game, takes control. After entering? He takes control after entering. So he ends up in a place that he doesn't really want to be. He doesn't benefit from being here. Leaves to get a flirt, gets kind of screwed, but chooses not to chase. It would have been awkward pathing if he had, but I would have liked him to have tried. So right around this point, he wants this flirt. So he's going to say, I'm going to go get this flirt. ST leaves, and right around here, he should say, you know, maybe I can follow. Maybe I can follow. But he chooses not to. We'll see if he ends up running into trouble. If he had followed, he would have been able to get a close flirt right here. And that could be 35 to 50%, which would have been a better start than the one he has now, where he has nothing. He does have a good BB going here, so we'll see if he takes it. No, he's not taking the BB. I think he's looking around, though. I think he is thinking, you know, what's going on in the other side of that conversation? Is this BB any good? And then he decides to take it. That's okay. He could have done it a bit earlier. He can't tell that there's people at the statues over there. So from his point of view, he thinks that most of the people are in the back conversation over here. And there's a good number of them there. But unfortunately, some of the people are at statues. Some people are walking around. But at least he's got a mission done, and he didn't chase the mission. He waited on it, so he doesn't look really suspicious for entering and then BBing right away. This I don't like. This I do not like. On the one hand, I think he's a little too close to the Amba, and he's actually going to invade space here. If not, he's at that sweet spot, so he can actually sip the drink and get a bug, but he can wait on it. But I really do think he might be invading. And secondly, why not take this position and get a better flirt? Because you're just getting started at the 1 minute 40-second mark. What do you want? You want a close green at this point. So I'm predicting timeout might be an issue with that, or he's going to have to rush some hardtails in the second half. So he starts flirt at 1 minute 30 seconds, gets a white. Now he's at 24% with only a minute and a half left. Half the map is finished. Like half the time is gone, and he has one mission done. And Pires is just picking up a few lowlights. He's got most of his lowlights are probably from the BB, I think. Okay, falconhit says that he needs some time. That's definitely correct, and this is a good moment to add time. Right around a minute. The sniper will notice the slow beeping for about 15 seconds, but I don't think it's going to hurt falconhit. It's only going to help him. I think he'll get away with that time ad. All right, here's a flirt. And now the difference between being in this position and then adding time is that you're throwing an extra hardtail in. So all of that idling all of that idling is in the hopes of maybe getting a low light, or maybe, getting a bunch of highlights for pires. Like, those are the two things you want if you're idling. You want to either secure a low light or not be watched at all, and you want to have other people look really suspicious. In this case, there's only 2 highlights, and so that's not really bad. Pires is probably thinking to himself, okay, the spy is most likely still neutral lit, especially since falconhit plays so slow. And on top of that, all of that idling, instead of accomplishing soft tells, it ended up forcing an additional hard tell with the time ad. So an additional risk that he wouldn't have had to take if he had just flirted twice instead. So the recovery time ad probably is not going to be as helpful as it needs to be, even if it's not discovered, and it was a needless risk. So when it is noticed, pires can probably low light a character that he knows never visited Windows or something. It still could do some damage here, even if it doesn't get him shot. So got to get the close green, or he does get a green. I don't know if it needed to be green, but I think so. I think close white would have been 34%, so he needs the green here. He is going to get it, but with 30 seconds left, it's hard for pires to know that there's exactly 30 seconds left, but he knows time is still running low, and inspect swap is really what he has to do. He has to get 2 missions done here. There's the swap. Yeah, and as pires, that's all you have to do is just wait. Just wait, because the spy will either time out, or falconhit's in this situation is either going to time out or he's going to take a big risk. And pires waits, sees the big risk, it's a swap, and he shoots. Pretty easy game for him. Yeah, I definitely think at this point falconhit needs to say, well, moving really slow is just not working for me. Falcon never wants me to pair him like the old days. Oh, do you guys have like a history? Is he afraid? Is he afraid of flirting? How can I get LLs from idling if I know the spy likes to idle? I don't know. The way that I kind of think about low lighting idlers is I think that if this character is not accomplishing anything, sure, it could be an idling spy. But if it's an idling spy, they're still likely to time out. So low lighting them is not as big of a risk, because I just have to keep in my mind that if none of my highlights and none of my neutral lights are doing anything, then the spy could be low lit and they're probably still not doing anything because all of my low lights are idling. So I'll win in a timeout scenario if that's the case. All right, pires is going to. I mean, it is still hard. You do lose something when your opponent likes to idle a lot. But on the other hand, you could just highlight idlers. You could say this player is super idle, and I'm just going to idle people who are, or low light people who idle. And then if a character is ridiculously active beyond like the personality of that player, you can low light for that. You can say this person went statue, statue, statue. falconhit doesn't do that because he doesn't like to be seen at all. That's a low light. Like, sure, that character could be finishing missions, but is it likely to be falconhit? Probably not. So behaviorism doesn't just have to be about low lighting for idling. You can low light people based on exhibiting behaviors that you don't expect the player to exhibit. I mean, that's the definition of behaviorism, right? Or low lighting for behaviorism. Behavioralist highlights are highlights that are actions you think that player might perform. All right, pires is going to start. I'm going to start this game over because I'm not even paying attention. He started, I think the way that I like people to start, or that I like to start, close screen flirt, 51%. And already at 2 minutes and 52 seconds, pires is in a considerably better spot than falconhit was in at 1 minute and 30 seconds. So, and now he could just sit here. He can wait here for 45 seconds, possibly finish flirt with a second flirt. And all the other guests are talking to each other anyway, so it still just looks like you're idling. There's no reason not to grab a flirt or two while idling. Cooldown expires. ST leaves. Okay, I mean, that happens. Nothing you can do about it. I think that when you get a close green, it's fair to stay and hope you get the second one. If you don't, you're still doing okay. I think now is a good time to start thinking about BB, which is the real DA, though. I can't tell unless... Okay, he's with the real DA, so Pires probably should be considering BB soon. Nope. I think he wants Flirt. Are you going to meet at windows? This is dangerous. But it takes. It does take. So there, done with Flirt. Now a minute and a half left. And technically they have the same number of missions completed, right? BB, or rather Falconhit would have finished BB by now, but he was still way behind in Flirts. But BB is an instant mission. So in about 2 seconds... Yeah, Pires' pacing is much, much better than Falconhit's. Or at the very least, it was much better than Falconhit's pacing was in this set. There's the print. Yeah, Pires does like his prints, huh? Kind of a suspicious drop, but I don't think it was seen. Ooh, second print, but probably just highlight for statues, and that's going to be print plus inspect. The only way Falconhit can really shoot for that is if he remembers that there is a print there. And it doesn't look like he does. That's going to end the game. Yeah, that was clean. That was really clean. I want to see this Flirt. So he arrives, 158, and Pires arrives at 155, so that's 3 seconds. You get the Flirt, and the Flirt completes 2 seconds later, so a 6-second Flirt essentially, and then he's going to leave, right, at 148. So he was there 10 seconds. And the Flirt took about 6 seconds. So if you don't arrive within 3 seconds of a person being at windows, you probably won't get it. Pires luckily arrived soon after, and that's how you got to get window Flirts. You have to arrive right after they do. Even then, there was a chance that he could have left, but Pires definitely arrived and tried it out, and that was smart. The BB's pretty good. In fact, it's better than the one I was looking at before. So... the BB that I was thinking about before was right around here when the DA joins. And I was thinking maybe wait a little while and get the BB. But Pires decided he wanted the Flirt instead. Is that why he left? Yeah, he left to get the Flirt. And ended up being rewarded for it. So that decision to wait on the BB worked out really well. You got a better one as a result. There were fewer lowlights, and some of the highlights of the people who were at statues. Red Dress in particular was at, I think she was at like this statue over here. She ended up entering by the time the BB happened. So even if it was fake for her, still a much better BB. And then print and statues, and finish with all the soft tells. That's just really hard to guard. This is a trend I've been noticing with some players, is that a lot of people are starting to pick up on the fact that the soft tells are really hard to track, which necessitates a different kind of strategy to beat these players. What you need to keep in mind is that this takes a lot of time. So it's pretty powerful to do all soft tells, but here are the big risks that you have to take. You have to approach your seduction target, and you're most likely going to have to approach close, because you really need to get those greens to save time. The BB is going to be one of the bigger points of the soft tell game. So you really need to get a good BB. If your BB sucks, it's going to be a lot harder for you to finish your remaining soft tells. So what do? Do you grab an early good BB, or do you wait until later and hope that you get a good one later on? That can be a tough choice. So there's a bit of a gamble in that. Fingerprints, you either have to be really obvious and get 2 normal prints, or you have to gamble that you have to gamble on a hard print. If somebody grabs 2 normal prints, that's going to be really suspicious, especially to somebody like Crazy Kaylee, who can just memorize like everything that a character has touched. And then finally you have to visit statue for the inspects, which gets people shot even if you do 3 hardtails and none of them are noticed, inspect can still kill you. So, in doing all of this, you'll notice that Piers is really active this game. He chases his seduction target around quite a bit, grabs 2 fingerprints, and even though he doesn't do a hardtail, he's very active and still finishes with less than a minute remaining. Like he finishes missions at 102, and the game ends at 152, or just 52. So this is time costly, and he's risking a timeout just by doing it. So there has to be some weaknesses that that can be exploited by people who you think are using those kinds of strategies. Hard prints are the best. I do like getting an early hard print. I think it's kind of like if you can get a really early close green flirt, you know you're a bit ahead. If you get an early hard print, you know your second print can be a normal one. And it's not going to be as suspicious doing like a single normal print. But if you get a normal print first and you go for the hard print second, you might not land that action test. And then you'll have to quickly change your strategy, as opposed to you don't get the hard test at the beginning of the game and you say, okay, this game I got a bug. You know, you just say, screw print, I'm not going to get it. All right, the score should be 5-3? Because it was 3-3, and then I think Pires won both of the courtyard games, so it should be 5-3. I think that's right. And we'll go into pub. You guys can already see what happens. Falcon hit. Here we go. What are you going to do? Yeah, 5-3 Pires. Thank you, Yerand. And Falcon going to start at the bar. He's going to start by delegating. I don't really even expect him to actually delegate. I mean, he might, and he probably should, because he needs to do missions. He absolutely needs to do missions this game. But I think it's just smart practice, even if you don't want to delegate, to take the option. Unless you're like me and you have no self-control. But if you're going to take that drink, choose the option to delegate, so you may take advantage of the opportunity if it shows up. You won't be able to get this BB, which is unfortunate because it would have been a nice one if the DA had stayed. Like, if the DA was still in his conversation, this would have been a great BB with only 1 or 2 characters out. Is it 3? It's 3, but that's still a good BB. That said, the game didn't give it to him, so it's not Falcon Hit's fault. He's going to enter conversation. Could he have gotten closer to a seduction target? No, this is the only position he can take. He does do something that I kind of like here, which is he goes in the conversation and he goes way in there, which is, I think he has like an across the CC 51% going here. I think he's that close. And it's really hard to tell, so if he gets green, he's good. Delegate timer expires. I didn't expect him to try to do it. It's Falcon Hit, and he hasn't done a mission in the first minute yet in this set, so I wouldn't expect him to start it now. He does get a white test, and he gets 31%, so he was not close enough for 51. If he had gotten green, he probably would have been around 48%. So 31 doesn't hurt him there, in my opinion.
And the end of red.
BB, fake BB. This is an okay fake BB. It's okay. There's only 1 character out. Was it 2 characters out? Let me see. Yeah, only Carlos is out. The downside is Carlos, I think, is returning from a statue, which he was highlit for. Is that right? No, he was highlit before that. I mean, that is a bit of a loss, but it's not so bad. And like I said, the BB is really nice. A DA is in, and even though Carlos gets low lit, that's 3 characters that might be done with BB, and 2 of them might have even bugged if Pires wasn't paying attention there. He might assume a bug. So there's a wrong shot possibility here. He's going to leave conversation, get his second flirt. Weird entry and a weird spot, in my opinion. See, he does that direct entry here, and gets this kind of, it's not even an optimal location, and you just kind of squeeze in here, when really, why not path around here and sit here? Get that spot right there. You're closer to your seduction target. You can get a 51% flirt here. You don't have to worry about hitting the white and still being at 62% and then risking having to get a 4 flirt game. Get here, at least get a 34% flirt, and it's not going to be more suspicious, and the path looks better. So falconhit's going to go there instead. It's just little things. It's little things that add up. So he does, I think that was a 34. I think he's still pretty close. The path's still not the greatest, but outcome the same mathematically. And he's at 65. But again, 65% on flirt done, and only a third of the map's time remaining. No other missions complete. And as falconhit, you've really got to bank on your opponent shooting incorrectly. And Pires is just going to go crazy with lowlights. So I'll have to look at those in a second, see what they're all about. Yeah, 31 does kind of hurt because, like you said, you can't 3 white. You have to get a green in there in order to get it done in 3 flirts. So he's going to delegate again. This one, he has to make it go off because he has to threaten a hard tell at this point in order to bait a shot. And this is actually a good location for him. He can get BB here, he can get flirt here, and he can delegate. He can get a lot done. ST leaves. He's going to grab this BB, but there's only 2 seconds left, so it doesn't matter. And he's going to lose the game. Yeah, it's just he keeps putting himself in this rough spot where he just doesn't do missions. And unlike previous games where it seemed that he was idling for the goal of throwing suspicion on other people, this time it didn't really seem that way. This time it seemed kind of aimless. At the end, it looked like he was beginning to put together a plan. He grabs a drink, prepares to delegate, actually delegates to his seduction target, which was probably not the best decision, and maybe even a mistake. What he should have done was flirt, then delegate, and then BB, and then what? He still needs another mission. So what mission is he going to get? Bug is across the map. Inspect is even farther, and he can't even get to a window quickly enough after that sequence. So yeah, just decided to do things way too late and ended up not being able to get anything done. My guess is that when he entered, he either wanted to flirt right away. Let me see. Spy leaves conversation, Spy enters conversation, and here's where he delegates. Let me just switch to his camera. Okay. So he enters conversation, delegates soon after. So either that was his intention, was to delegate really quickly, or he thought maybe that if he delegated, his DA would go. But either way in this, or maybe he wasn't thinking, maybe he just said delegate, and he wasn't thinking that it's going to be the closest guest. Either way, it's a loss. If he delegates and DA leaves, he doesn't get a BB. If seduction target leaves, he doesn't get a flirt. So he had to enter, find out which one was closer, and then either BB or flirt, and then delegate, and then get the remaining mission. And that's 3 missions, but you still got to get a 4th. So it didn't matter in the end. Yeah, it's... Even a close white wouldn't have won in the game. He had to get a green flirt. So you can't put yourself in this position. You got to get stuff done. Especially when you're playing against Pires, who's just going to wait it out. So I want to look at some of these lights. So yeah, Pires won this game. GG. Good job. It was 3-1 at the start. He started off behind and managed to make a pretty big comeback. Yeah, just well played. You played against your opponent's style and just were patient. That's just what you have to do against players who want to idle a lot. So let's see. Marked suspicious for statue. Okay, Carlos was highlight for a statue, and he visited the same statue later. Which against falconhit, I'd probably even want a low light for. If a character visits statue twice, if there's a game where a character visits statues twice against a player who's timed out 5 times against me, I'll probably low light the person who goes to statue twice. This is all I'm trying to say there. because that character's not getting anything done, and he's looking more suspicious doing it. falconhit likes to not get anything done and not look suspicious. Highlight here. Let's see why. Briefcase related, maybe? Let's see. She's way over here. And then Amba's going to... Oh, she's returning the case. Maybe just for an early fingerprint. Might be my guess. That's a really weird path, though. It could have been for the path. I wonder why she did it. Let's see. She starts pathing here. Is there anybody who kind of interrupts that spot when she starts? No. How about here? I think this is why. I think this is why she pathed through the center. Is because here she's putting the briefcase down, and her character is making a decision about where to go next. And when she decides that where she wants to go is somewhere in this conversation, this path is not available to her. So she sees this path instead. So that's why the AI takes that path. She ends up in that conversation. She gets a highlight. If it's for the path, Pires says that he knows that falconhit likes to time out in casuals, but he figured that he'd be a bit more aggressive, or at least rush missions at the end to try to win in competitive sets. Yeah, I don't know falconhit at all, really. I can only tell you what I saw this game, or this set, which was that he, didn't really do much in terms of missions. He was not an active player. And being an idle player can be very strong against some opponents, and against other opponents doesn't work out. But overall, I don't really know him too well. It's just, this is the example I'm pulling up. Yeah, she ends up neutral. Yeah, I'll get to it. And yeah, Varanus, there's no point in him delegating there because it was really just too late. If he had delegated sooner, he could have shown a mission at maybe the 1 minute mark, or I think he could have delegated at in the first minute of the game, right? The first thing he did was he chose the delegate option. If he had shown the guest list missing and had that BB later, because that was a good BB, it could have baited a shot. But you're not showing any hardtails. You're known for timing out, and all you've shown is BB. You're looking like you're bluffing. He wanted to frame Alice for having 2 prints. He was hoping she'd have an SDA in the convo. I mean, that's fair. It's so hard to frame in this game, though, that I wouldn't rely on it. And again, if you've timed out so many times, your frames are going to be less effective. The way that you convince somebody to shoot the wrong person is you finish missions enough times to where they're afraid that a person is done with their missions, and then they start shooting those people. Your frames are going to be less effective when either that's all you try to do or you just time out a lot. He values being an AI over doing missions and winning the game. Yeah. I mean, falconhit's meta might be a little bit different. I think he's around the 3,000 to 5,000 games mark. There's a good chance he's played a lot of players who shoot more aggressively than Pires did today, or in this set anyway. Anyway, enough talk about falconhit. I mean, his play was very clean. It just wasn't active. But yeah, very few animation breaks or anything that I noticed. Okay, let's see. So she was low light on general here. So let's see what general did this game. General did nothing all game. So I do like this low light. General, the first thing he does, he enters conversation by himself. Not suspicious. Usually an active spy wants to find a good spot in the early game. Maybe get a flirt, maybe set up a delegate. Even falconhit does that. Maybe add time, or just not be alone by yourself. Is joined by another guest, and general chooses to stay there. But general's still not in a good spot. Even if he's flirting with the character that just joined, he's not getting much done from it. And then he ends up talking to the DA and a bunch of other random characters, and he just talks to everybody who he meets and gets a low light. So that's a good low light. Let's see this one. A low light for pathing here. My guess is a low light for pathing. And it's a fine low light. If you're thinking about what I was talking about, how falconhit likes to play, how he approaches conversations, especially if he's going to flirt, he usually just gets right next to he gets right next to where he wants to go and he just stops. And this character doesn't do that. This character kind of enters the conversation circle and walks around the circle just a little bit before she stops. Like she gets to the circle and then goes to a specific spot in it, which is AI like. Even if the spot here is actually a pretty valuable one for a player. What's my TLDR from this session? I don't know. I don't really have a thing. I guess what I wanted to do was just kind of find a few player habits, show my process for analyzing replays and how I look at what players do to try to form like a behavioral strategy around that. My TLDR is do missions though. Like do missions. If what you're doing is not working and what you're doing is not doing missions, try doing the opposite. Whatever you're doing, if it's not working, do the opposite and see if that works. So falconhit had to do missions here and he didn't. That's my TLDR for this set. Do missions earlier. Yeah, just set yourself up for success. So set yourself up for success. Like find out what position do you want to be in the late game. If you like, having a minute and 30 seconds left and only 25% flirt done, if you think that that's strong and that's what you want to do, find a way to get to that position. If what you like is being at a minute and 30 seconds and having seduce done and having half a fingerprint done and having BB done, that looks like a really strong position. So find a way to get that without getting highlit. So yeah, find where you feel comfortable in the game, and know when you're in that position whether you need to do more to get to it, or know where you can go from there into the follow-up. So if you have a minute and a half left and you have contact and you have half a fingerprint and you have all of seduce done and you're consistently putting yourself in this position, you're going to have a good routine where you know how much time it's going to take you to get that second print. You know whether it's going to be relatively safe to get that in spec because you've seen this situation before. And you've been successful in it before. Okay, so highlight here. That was after the BB though. So these are highlights for a real BB, which are, even if you're not assuming real, I still like taking these highlights because what are you going to do? Highlight people who aren't getting anything done with the BB and who are likely just idling? Even if the spy is likely one of those people, the highlights are kind of meaningless. Whereas these highlights, you take them, they don't have to become your top suspects. You just remind yourself that these are the characters who have one more mission than the other characters. So good highlights there. They're the ones I would probably want to take. They're also both characters that maybe could have bugged if your pires or if pires wasn't paying attention. These characters threaten to bug as well. So that's good. Low lights this character. That's good. He was out during BB. Neutralites her. Why? Oh, yeah, that's good. For the same reason that those highlights are good. Instead of just bumping her up to neutral light, I might even consider highlighting her, but whatever. It doesn't matter. Highlight on Irish for statues. Unfortunately, she was out during the BB, if I recall.
And the end of red.
No, she wasn't. Okay. Did she BB split? She left soon after. Okay. So, yeah. Highlight for statues is reasonable. As long as you can still mentally separate that these are the BB highlights. If you can't, then you've got a lot of highlights, and that can be overwhelming. Low lights her again, presumably because she's still not doing anything. How long has she been there? Pearls hasn't done anything almost the whole game. So from the moment that she stands in this conversation at 206 and then gets low lit At 52, she hasn't done anything. That's a whole minute of a character not doing anything. Assuming that that's why she was low lit, then that's a strong low light. That's a behaviorally good low light. It's a character who doesn't have much, even if she has flirt done. And we know she still doesn't have BB done, because if she did, she'd be high lit in this group. Earlier, rather. Low light and twin. So what I'm going to take from this about Pires is that he tries to pay attention. My guess is that he's trying to pay attention to guest locations, where a guest sits and how long they're going to stay there. That's pretty important to Pires. Whether a BB is real or not is important to him. I don't think that Pires is banking on this being a real BB. I think these highlights are just indicative of him tracking it, just in case it's a real BB. So that's not a weakness. I don't know if the statue highlights are really going to help Pires in the long run, because he has strong enough lowlights outside of that and strong enough highlights without that. But I mean, it's a reasonable thing, because highlighting for statues is a strong strategy right now. And overall, he played patiently when he needed to. So I don't know. It's hard to say if I'm right or wrong about any of that, but those are some of the things I'll have to think about when if I end up facing Pires in the future of the Summer Cup. So congrats to him for beating falconhit. I think the next match for Pires will be him versus catnip, which should be exciting. Is that right? Pires versus catnip is next. Yeah. So that should be an exciting match. I'm looking forward to it. Best of luck to both players. All right. I think I'm going to end it soon. Does anybody want to play a handful of games with me before I end it? Maybe 6 to 8 games? Any volunteers? And thank you everybody for watching. I hope this was fun and educational. I hope that me talking too much wasn't too much. Pires says, why do I have to fight people who know me? But of course he knows them too. Steph will play one game with me. Steph says play one game so I can get my palindrome. Yeah, I actually want to get my palindrome, which would be 16061. Hi, Mom. Catnip says she'll do 6. Does anybody have any questions? What I wanted to do, and what I'd like to do in the future, is talk more about behaviorism and just try to open it up for people, give people more insight into how you can play this game without just looking at the hardtails. I think, you still have to track them. That's always going to be a part of the game, no matter what your style is. If you want to be successful, you're always going to have to look at statues. You're going to have to look at the purloin. You're going to have to try to catch bug. But in between doing that, you can look at other things. You can look at the general party, see something happen, and then say, I think the player would do that, or I think they wouldn't, and add that as evidence towards a character's, guilt, which is exciting and fun and unique. At the very least, try it out in casual games. All right, nobody's biting. Nobody's biting for games, so I think I'm just going to stop here. Adapt. Yeah, adapt. Adapt is good. Look at your replays. At the end of a game, whether you win or lose, try to find one thing. Take one thing away from that replay. Take like 15 seconds to look at what happened and choose something to look for in future games. So if you see a player enter the conversation in a certain way, maybe it doesn't look weird. Just see what they do, and then watch and see if they do it again. See if they do it after that. And you might find a pattern. You might say, oh, this person always sips their drink in this way, or they always, approach a window in this way, or they like to follow their seduction target and stuff like that. See if you can find a pattern. The best players don't have patterns or have really hard to distinguish patterns. Catnip wants to play 6 games. Okay, let's play 6. My palindrome is going to last 5 seconds. And I'll make it so you guys can hear Catnip. Hang on. Alright, hello.
Hello.
Alright, you guys should be able to hear Catnip. Let me know if you can't. Any requests?
Not really.
Pan up okay?
Sure. Usually I don't play the non-Summer Cup maps like lately, so that's nice.
Yeah, this one will be entertaining. Do you prefer 5 of 8 or 5 of 7?
5 of 8.
Alright, we'll do that.
Okay. Ready?
Ready. Awesome. Alright, so what should I do? Bug doesn't look good right now. I could just grab this, oh shit, I need to grab a book right now. I thought I was at painting. That's okay. It doesn't matter. Let's grab this film and get shot for it. I got away with it. Alright, I need to grab that print. So, not going to purloin, but I am going to take this fingerprint. I could have bugged there. I really think I should have bugged there. Because the path was like almost equally suspicious without bugging. It doesn't matter. Let's get the wrong arm. Kind of walked through the conversation in a bad way to get that bug. What did I step on there? There was a something blocked my path. Something blocked my path right around here. I've noticed that a lot with since the new pathing system. Catnip always finishes missions. Always. Catnip, I think, alters her pacing enough to be relatively unpredictable about whether she will time out or finish missions. She doesn't typically rush. She's not like hyper aggressive. But she does play actively. Alright, I should be highlight here. This is my second bookshelf. I'm not going to do microfilm here. I'm going to get started on Flirt. I'm a bit behind on Flirt, right? So I need to get a close screen. Now, with that close screen, I've essentially caught up. I'm not ahead on Flirt by any means, but I'm caught up. So I can keep playing this game the way I want to. If I'd gotten white, I'd be forced to be a bit more active if I wanted to finish Flirt. But I am going to take this position right here and do microfilm. Alright, 2 missions done. I do want to get a green here for Flirt. That'd be pretty nice. It's not going to happen because she's doing briefcase. But I can get a BB, maybe. This BB sucks. Okay. So I have a print. I don't really want this purloin. This BB is still not good, but I kind of need to look at it. I need to just kind of take this one. So BB, really need the green. Yeah, nice. What was the main thing?
You were doing a lot, and you were doing it in much quicker intervals that I would think AI would do, sort of. Like the bookcase visit, the painting visit,
Okay.
that kind of.
Just so you, okay, so you just saw me around a lot, basically.
So, okay, like I highlight you for a printable drink, but I think I had something on you even before that. What was
I
it?
waited a long time to grab my book. Was that it?
No. Okay, so why did I think about?
You highlight me before I got the printable drink. You highlight me when I requested. It's okay. Don't even worry about it.
No, I'm curious about myself.
Do I talk?
Oh, that like you left really quickly after putting the book.
Okay.
So it started there and then it escalated. Like you left at the red bookcase very quickly as well to the convo and what have you.
Gotcha. Hang on one sec.
Sure.
So I was reading the chat, and Pires, no, I do not talk to myself while I play. I do occasionally say, "Oh, I don't think so," like stuff like that. But usually it's just kind of a mental dialogue of whether I think that would happen or not. And then, um, I think yerand said that sniping is kind of a closed book because of Kaylee's success and him being a bit more visible to newer players. And yeah, I totally agree. But I also think that you can't start this game and not be a 100% camper. Like, that's essential. That's how you have to learn the fundamental part of the game, and that is camping. And until you do that, you're not going to find much success as a behaviorist anyway. But I do think that it's good for players to at least try out some behaviorism, see what sticks. It doesn't always work for everybody, but some of it might be beneficial. Ready?
Yes.
Besides, it's just really fun. 1s 3-2, 1s 3-3-2. Oh, Damon's finally getting to his spot. He was wasting a lot of time early on. I think Snaps had a pretty quick statue visit there. Was it 2 right clicks for a red, 1 for a blue? 20, 29, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13. Dots red, that's a, I think that was a flirt. It looked like a long time before picking up that book. Snaps did not bug there. That's a blue book. This will be a blue book too. Temporary low light there. Oh man, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. There was something about the way that you entered the bookshelf that I wasn't super happy with.
Okay.
It just looked a little bit strange. I mean, it wasn't enough to highlight, but I thought about it. But the main thing was you were standing next to my current top suspect, so I was
That
watching
was
her.
like kind of. That was kind of on the edge of the path, so perhaps that's why.
No, it's here. Let me see. I guess it's just really direct. Like, I think if an AI wanted to go there, what they would have done was, I don't know. It's hard to say. It just looked really direct.
That last diagonal?
Yeah, I would have liked a more diagonal approach, but I'm not exactly sure how you would have done it from your current path. It just looked a bit weird to me. But the main thing was that I was watching the person next to you and you did a hard tell. So AIs don't do hard tells. Yeah, it's behavior to do hard tells. That's behaviorism.
Ready?
Ready. All right. I guess I'm going to start off here. This place sucks. Hmm. Alright, seduction target, where are you going? You're going to bookshelf. Alright, let's get started on microfilm, that's fine. Green test that. I think there could be a purloin here. For sure. I'm pretty sure I got away with that one too. Alright, I can switch in, get a better bug position. If the purloin, when the purloin vanishes, I think that's the nice time to do it. In fact, I'm going to BB here. And there's the pearl. Oh, there's a reject, but that's going to look really good for me. Especially since she's going to notice the guest list gone now. And now's when I get my bug. And a close flirt. This one might look a little suspicious, but I think I'm good. I think I'm in the clear. And all I have to do is finish inspect, and I have 2 minutes left. So I can either finish microfilm or inspect. With 2 minutes left, it's really hard to shoot. I'd rather do that than risk the remainder of that hardtail. So can catnip shoot me for middle statue? Hopefully I do a lot of animations and show her that I'm not swapping this thing. Triple green, fuck yeah. Let's put it down and we'll move before she can get paranoid and shoot for it. And I have a low light. Low lit for center statue?
No, bad purloin low light.
Yeah, the purloin was really nice. It was a green and it had a really long reject chain.
I got the, like, 3 others that rejected. I missed you. Basically, after you, I like, KCM,
Yeah, I think...
Blondo, and Red Tie. I call the Blondo KCM now.
Well, I'm kind of weirdly complimented, I guess, that I'm so that people associate Blondo with me. Yeah, Red Tie rejected right around when I BB'd. And I was thinking you might assume that he green BB'd into green purloin.
The thing is, it was a printable drink. So, Blondo rejected, then Bondo rejected, and then Red Tie rejected. So I started lowlighting them. But I remember them in case it was green purloin, then BB goes off, and I, like, you and Kaylee, you do that for purloin a lot. So I just missed you rejecting basically before them. So that was it.
I will add time. I actually really do like adding time
Well,
once in
at
a
least
while.
I had some good assumptions there.
Yeah, it was... I got pretty lucky with that purloin, I think. And then the rest of it was soft tells. It would have been really hard for you to shoot me for a middle statue at 2 minutes, so... Ready?
Yes.
Let's see. 3, 3, 2, 2, 3, 3. Orange dress could have bugged there. I didn't see it, but it could have happened. So I'll just see where she ends up. But yeah, I do like to add time because it is nice to play slow. It is nice to idle. Red, blue. I kind of like that path from Blue Danger. I'll I can lowlight him later if he does other good stuff. Oh. Oh. I thought you tried to bug there at the beginning too, but
I did.
I didn't see it. I just really suspected it. Actually, I guess I did
I
kind of.
just can't ever do microfilm against you.
I did kind of see the bug a little. Let me see.
No, I get that. That's fine. Like, I deserved it, but
Yeah, your arm was
that's
slightly off.
partially why I want to do that. Because especially a pen up against you, like, I don't know if it's luck or if it's like sixth or whichever sense, but I always try to do that when your laser is on the other side and you come back just on the right time to catch that, and I'm going mental about it.
Yeah, well, I have a really high laser, or not laser. I have a really high mouse sensitivity, so I can be wherever I want to be on this map. Ready when you are. Yeah, I'm just a camper. I'm a fraud. I'm just a camper. If you don't do a hard tell, I lose. I mean, in actuality, you'd think that I would be stronger against somebody who does all the soft tells than a player like Crazy Kaylee. That's the theory, but it hasn't really been working out that way. I have to put a lot of effort into camping the soft tells if I want to catch somebody doing all 4 soft tells, and that I think that's a function of a camper, is memorizing how many fingerprints a person has, whether they can be done within specs, were they in for the real BB or not. And those are all qualities that Crazy Kaylee is insanely good at. Alright, this game I'm going to be behind if I don't do something now. I'm not going to make it in time for my flirt, so it's going to be a time ad right in front of the laser, because why not? That's how you play this game. And I have a feeling that Catnip's doing a pretty good job of guarding statues, so let's get some fingerprint. We can get flirt here. I can stop talking. I can grab this briefcase. I can print it. Not talk. Put it down. And I don't even think the briefcase is really noticed there. I don't want to request a drink. This might be really dangerous, going back here. Ooh. Alright, well, this is kind of a good time to BB. Was this the printable one? Yes, it is. Swap is kind of tempting. I'm going to do it. GTFO, GTFO, get the fuck out. I'm going to hide. I'm going to hide. No! No!
Mostly time ad, though.
Oh, really? It was the time ad?
Yeah. I was like 90% sure it was you, but I kept 2 other people who were close enough, who were close, who were near windows, who were close enough to windows to might have, like, possibly have time added and just going away during that time. But I was pretty sure it was you, and then I just was tunneling.
Gotcha. Yeah, good job. Let's see. Programming with Ed says, if you're thinking things like, I can't leave this pad so soon, I'll get shot, you need to remember you have the defense of your opponent is a human and they aren't holding a stopwatch timing how long your particular character is at the
Honestly,
pad.
all 3 of you were in Convo during BB, but only Yellow Danger would have had it real. Only he had an SDA, so.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Also, I thought that briefcase was iffy. Perhaps Amba
oh yeah,
came back or
it was
something, I don't know,
very very iffy. Me picking it up, probably not so much because the Amba did leave, but what I did was a hard tell. Like I was cheesing the briefcase a little, so it was a hard tell.
You were holding it for a bit, yeah.
Yeah, I even accidentally spoke while holding it, but I meant to put it down. I didn't want
Oh,
to talk. But I figured I
I
got away
didn't
with it
see you
clean.
speak. I
but
didn't
I
see you
didn't.
speaking, didn't see you talking, and I wasn't sure if Amba like came back or you know or it was there, so it was just iffy. But I mean that would not have been the reason why I shoot you.
Gotcha. So to answer some of what people are saying in chat, Programming with Ed said, if you're thinking things like I can't leave this pad so soon, I'll get shot. You need to remember your opponent is a human. They aren't holding a stopwatch timing how long you stay at a pad. This is both true and not true. If you're already a suspect, it's going to look suspicious if you stand at the windows too long to a player who's used to what the window timings look like, especially on a map like Balcony where it's more obvious. So it's map dependent. It's dependent on how suspicious you are and whether or not your opponent is somebody who actually like actively times things. Like Bloom and Canadian Bacon will count the number of cycles that you spend at a statue. Even like mid-level players are starting to do that now. It's making a comeback as a strategy because people have been spending so much time at middle statues, and now they're starting to get punished if they don't get a green test on their inspects. Hang on a sec, Kat. I'm responding to stream. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's fine.
And then, but for the most part, yeah, you're not going to be super suspicious for spending a little more or less time in a pad. Most likely, if you break animations 90% of the time, you're not going to be caught the majority of the time. But why take the risk that they're going to catch it? That they're going to catch it. If you're good about managing your time, you can afford to wait in conversation and finish an animation. But it is hard for a sniper to keep track of everybody. I will tell you that when I played against Royal Flush, I prepared for that match and I read through his replays, and he breaks a lot of animations, so I made a special point to look for animation breaks against him, and I think it did pretty well as a strategy. But if I know my opponent doesn't break animations, I'm not going to devote that much attention to it. I'll try to beat them more legitimately. Are you ready?
Yes.
1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 1. 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 1. Yeah. Blonde ties. 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 1 ties are a possible pair. Ooh, I don't know about that. Stealthy highlight. I don't know about that. Look like a possible animation break. I don't know where Blue Danger's book came from. I'm guessing Blue Shelf, actually. That's a low light. That's a nice little path there. It's kind of a tough wiggle through, so he'll get a low light. I might bring him back up. I don't know. Blue Danger or Blue Dress next to Ambush. He could have bugged. No swap. I've seen him around a lot. I like to highlight characters that I've seen a lot. Bondo. The corner of my eye, I didn't like his entrance. Red dress isn't really doing anything. I don't think that's a red book, but I can't shoot for it right now. I'm just not prepared to shoot that character. Buckswaggles is red. He was there a long time, though. Normally the spy would put their book back pretty quickly. I'm not sure about that. Okay, I need to watch brown dress here. No, I don't think she did microfilm. Bondo? Bondo, I think he's been pretty active. It's not him. General, what are you doing? Red book? Brown dress is either being very idle or... Oh, shit. Blue dress, top suspect? Yeah. I don't think it's brown dress. So we'll see if blue dress maybe breaks an animation or something. Blondo, he was at a middle statue before, right? So he gets a low light. He doesn't need another statue unless he is swapping here. Yeah. I mean, I guess I should highlight him just in case it's a swap. Ooh. 9, 8, 7, 6.
Nice.
Was that a fingerprint?
Yep.
I knew that was a yellow book, but I thought that there was a chance that you hid the microfilm when I wasn't looking. So that was really nice.
Yeah, I figured I probably couldn't get away with, like, microfilming added the yellow bookcase, especially when Amba was in the, like, next convo, I think.
Yeah.
Or not, I don't know.
You put it back a little too fast. I would have liked you to have continued reading it for a bit.
Yeah.
I think that may have even been an animation break when you returned the book.
Might have.
Because if you watch, your shoulders shift down as you start to put it back. I think the AI typically will land there, start reading, wait until their shoulders settle all the way down, and then put it back. I don't know. Bacon knows those animations better than I do.
Yeah, I did think I put it back, like, way too quickly. It just, I kind of panicked.
You needed time. You needed to get another mission, yeah.
I just kind of panicked. I actually wanted to do the thing where I put it back and then take it back again for another print.
Yeah. It was close because I thought maybe I should shoot for this transfer. If that's the last mission, then I lose. And I was lucky that you still had to fingerprint. And then I decided to shoot for that. But if transfer was your last mission, you were going to win. So it was a close game. Let's see. Varanus says
So
animation
that's
breaks.
6. Do you want to do
6.
more or just...
No, I think I'm going to close up the stream. I think I'm going to answer a few more things in chat and then head off. Thank you for playing with me. Good games.
No worries. Thanks for streaming.
Yeah. So Varanus says animation breaks seem like more of a thing than most people... More... GG's. A thing that people notice but don't really look for. Like, they just happen to see it. Yes, that's true, but typically when I notice them, it's because I'm actively looking for them. I don't spend the whole game hoping to see animation breaks. I just check animation points. So I can give you an example, actually. It's easier on old art, obviously, but Courtyard 2 is a great example. Once the guests settle down, I'll just add a bunch of time here. How do you add time? Control, right? Whatever. All right, so Blue Danger. If I look here, he's starting to talk. Pick a character is not talking. So Blue Dress. Fuck, they're all moving. All right, how about White Danger? Okay. If I look away from him, I know that he's either going to sip or he's going to... How do I explain this? I just kind of keep an eye on their animation patterns. If Buckswaggle's my top suspect, then before he starts talking there, I'm going to be looking at him. I'm going to say, okay, let's see what he does at his next animation point. So right now that he's in the middle of an animation, I can look away. Because if he moves while I'm looking away, I'll know that it broke an animation. And then when he's going back to the point where he's in between animations, I'll glance at him again and see if he leaves, properly during that animation or between animation cycles, or if he, does something else. I can even do something like this, and when I come back around, I should see him completing the animation. So I don't need to see the entire duration of it. I don't need to spend 3 seconds looking directly at this character. I can look over here and make sure that there's no purloin. I can look over here and make sure there's no bug, and then glance over and see what this character's doing. If somebody is known for breaking animations, I'm going to watch Orange Dress in this situation because she has a drink. And now there's 2 ways that this person might break animation. They might break animation to sip, or they might break animation to leave. So this is a valuable character for me to look at this point in time against a player who's not very attentive to animations. So right now she's beginning an animation. I can look away and I'm going to look at the Amba for 2 or 3 seconds. Now I know the animation is going to finish. I'm looking back at her, and she started talking. But if I look back and she's sipping, I'll say, well, that lined up with her animation, so the sip was probably not a break. A lot of what I see is out of the corner of my eye, but I kind of just scan the party and say, are there any opportunities for me to catch a mistake here? Because the Amba's not being threatened. I don't need to look for bug. Swap, I don't need to look at super heavily. I just need to see if it swapped after they leave, especially since it's got so much time left. Purloin, I'll check right now. It's safe. Amba's still relatively safe. And so I can look at these animations. Now I can look back. General finished an animation, so he did not bug there. Amba's clear. I don't need to look at it. I can look at animations again. And it's a form of hardtail camping. You're camping animations, but you're doing it on the read that they're going to make that mistake, which is valuable if they do. Otherwise, I just sometimes will see them like just barely, and I'll say, well, I can highlight for that if I didn't see it like in the center of my view. Reading new art animations is something I need to practice. How do I treat no-talkers is something I look out. No-talkers are it's really challenging for me. Because it can be interrupted by so many varying things, like the conversation flow. If you have a group of maybe 4 characters, which is pretty average on most maps, and you see nobody talking, you also have to look to see if somebody was accepting a drink, because if the active talker accepts a drink, the conversation is put on hold for about the duration of a normal no-talk that is the spy's fault. If somebody's sipping a drink, that puts the conversation on hold. So there are way too many factors in a note like that affect the game and make like false positives for no-talk appear, that I don't really like looking for no-talk. If I happen to see it, I won't even be super suspicious of it. I'll just either highlight those guests or low-light the people outside of it. But those will still be soft highlights and soft low-lights. I'll say, rather than say, I saw a no-talk, I'll say, I think I saw a no-talk, which for me is a big enough difference for me to not bank too heavily on something that doesn't progress the game for the spy. Like a no-talk is not really a threat to me. So I don't need to treat it too much like it's a hard tell. I know some players will, and sometimes they're right. Simino should give them all the same animations. That's pretty funny. Anyway, I'm going to close out the stream. I want to thank everybody. Oh, I'm tired. I want to thank everybody for coming and watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I want to do this more in the future. I want to have a behavioral stream in the future. So let me know any ways that you think this could be improved. And let me know what you enjoyed most about this. Do you want to see more replay analysis? Do you want to see more? Do you want to see me play more games? What do you want to see? So everybody take care and play some SpyParty. Bye. I feel weird doing that. That's like Tobo's thing. I'm not doing that again.